Thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com, the definitive home for technical analysis online. Our passion is understanding the market and identifying trade opportunities. Our goal is to share our success with others through consultation, training videos, and educational course materials. Get the skills that will make you a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join us today for access to daily analysis and live market coverage, a thriving community of over 1,000 active members, and hours of exclusive educational content. Come for the education, stay for the community.
Checking back in on the market, so we have some more key levels to be watching. If you've been watching the channel at this point, you know that I like to find the easiest, most clear time frame for me, focus on that, and then take it from there. And we did that back on the 4-hour time frame a few weeks ago when we had the equilibrium that broke bullish with a lot of follow through. And now we have a nice tight 4-hour pattern again to be watching with multiple tops. 288.93 with regular hours and extended hours is now essentially a quadruple top. So that is the resistance level. And you can see that we have 286.70 as our support, and the bulls are trying to form a higher low here at 287.58, and they're trying to make their way back towards this resistance. So tomorrow, we're either going to break, we'll just call it 289 and round up. If we break 289, it's going to be convincing for follow through. And if we do not, we're looking at 287.58 and 286.70, which would be a shift in momentum if we were to break those supports without breaking this top of resistance. It's a potential top fishing play, low risk. If you get in and it rejects, you win. And if it gets a bull break, you stop out and you take a small loss. So we'll see where we set up tomorrow morning heading into the open to see if that top fishing play is around. IWM rejected, well, it did get above resistance, but didn't get much follow through, but it is a little daily higher low and then continuation move. So our new key support here is 154.91 and resistance limited 158.78 and then 159.50. But looking at the hourly time frame, we did close a bit weak and there's a lack of support due to the very significant bullish day on Wednesday. So we may need to come back down into Wednesday's range to find another higher low. QQQ saw a little gap up open, didn't get a whole lot of follow through, but also didn't pull back a whole lot. Again, volume is still missing here. Let's look at SPY on the daily chart. Just below average volume, dragging that average down, and QQQ is doing the same thing now. Most important support level short term for me is 183.63, and the bulls are still keeping strength at this point, but a consolidation day, and resistance is going to be up at our current top of 185.78. Financial sector also saw some continuation, where we have the new daily higher low at 26.28. Earnings are quickly approaching for the sector, and we are looking up at 27.10. That is the level as we approach earnings to see if the bulls can break 27.10 or lose the daily uptrend. If we lose the daily uptrend without breaking 27.10, we zoom out to the weekly chart because it will be a tightening weekly pattern in that instance. Biotech sector has been all over the place with volatility. Among the past 5 days, we had a huge bull day, a bit of a double bottom, big bear day, solid bull day, big bear day. Bearish engulfing candlestick. Volume stands out for the bears today, so that's notable. And we have a little shift with that little lower high and lower low. So looking at that on the 4-hour time frame, that's confirmation of the 4-hour bearish trend change. And now on the daily chart, we're looking down at support. Really the most clear level from here is 86.83. So the weekly chart is ending up with a potential bearish candlestick this week. And the uptrend on the weekly chart is that 86.37 level. So that's the most important to try and keep the bulls in the longer term weekly uptrend, but notable weakness in the biotech sector. And after that week close, we'll see if that keeps up into tomorrow. Look at the RSI. The hourly RSI has been bouncing right off this 30 line more often than not. Certainly doesn't dip that far below. It can dip far below, but the last, let's say 5 times, we bounced right on that 30 line, and we are right there at the end of the day today. So if we do drop down tomorrow to lower lows, oversold conditions pretty quickly. The VIX here is heading back down towards its recent low. We're looking down at 1220, and our recent top is 1440. That's the range that we've been within, and week closes the last 2 days as the bulls have held on in the S&P500. Oil is still strong. The daily chart is consolidating in a healthy way. Anything above 61.79 is a higher low. We had the inside bar break bearish, so it was just a 4-hour loss of the uptrend with our lower high and then lower low. But there's no massive pullback at this point. Still very healthy consolidation. Step number 1 for the bears to get any progress on oil is losing the 12-period exponential moving average support. We've closed below it a couple times, but never 2 days in a row on this most recent bull move up. in the last 2 months, essentially. And aside from the daily higher low pattern as far as price goes, we have that exponential moving average as a tighter guide that is tracking the price what am I trying to say? It's tracking the price faster. It's more reactive to the current price. Natural gas, rejection from 272, and then the inventory report could not bail out the bulls. It is still an inverse head and shoulders pattern as far as the daily chart goes. It gets a little choppy when you look at it on the 4-hour. Let's see if the 12-hour is more clear. So it would be the left shoulder, the head, and this would be the right shoulder. But the bulls have to show up pretty much tomorrow and Monday to try and get back to that 272 level. So my interest with natural gas is now fading again because we could not break that resistance level. The bears are keeping their control. We don't have confidence that a weekly higher low is being established. So patiently waiting for a setup I like in natural gas, and it's not there yet. Overall, bulls are just fine. S&P 500, 4-hour time frame. That's the range that I'm watching right here. 286.70 is the most important short-term support level. As long as that holds, bulls have complete control in my opinion. And we'll see how we end out the week with one more trading day to go. We'll see you over the weekend. Have a great rest of your night. So still in Pavones, Costa Rica, there's Baloo and Cowboy resting during the day, getting ready for their evening walk on the beach. Plant life, I don't even know what that is, but the plants and animals, again, were my favorite part. Just so many new things and new species of things that I recognize but are completely different in this environment. And that is where we lived for a month. So the beach was this way, probably about 100 feet just across a dirt road. And the yard had papayas in it and mango trees, and the monkeys would cross every morning. It was part of their path wherever they were heading for the day. And up here we had a little loft with a futon for hanging out, and down here is a kitchen and a hammock, and there's a bedroom up there and a bedroom down there. So very simple, very small and exposed, but what more do you need? So there's the hanging out spot. And ended up one night we had a scorpion in my room, and it made its way into a crack before I could get to it. So I had to sleep knowing there was a scorpion about 6 feet away from my bed. Fortunately, he did not come back, although my buddy did get stung by a scorpion literally as he was picking up his bag to leave to get driven to the airport. Fortunately, not poisonous. The yard had a nice outdoor area for grilling and having fires. Plants everywhere. There's an action shot of cracking open a coconut. You can see the strain in my neck. Those things are hard to open. I was very surprised. But when you get them open, that's the reward. The day pretty much consisted of wake up, sell the gap up open in US penny stock MJ, collect your winnings, drink some rum out of a coconut, go swim in the ocean and play with the dogs, and do it all again the next day. Ride our bikes into town and get some food. There's the little monkeys, probably spider monkeys that were going through the yard, and then they had the big howler monkeys. These guys were intense. They would yell. You could hear them a long way away as they were claiming their territory. Clearly a male howler monkey. Some more plants. I believe that's a something of paradise plant. So many species. And I love jungle hikes. So much to see. There's Cowboy with his bola de luz. One of those light balls I was talking about that we played with the little boy at the hostel. And a pretty butterfly on a pretty rock. So we'll wrap up Pavones next video, and then we'll get into present time. I keep getting these messages. People think that this is now, when this was 5 years ago. And so I got a message from someone today saying they hope I get better with my earache. And I recovered 5 years ago, but thanks. Have a good day. Do good things. See you tomorrow.